John Corrales, MassLive.com. Kyrie, what was the cause of the that third quarter run? Did you feel like you guys may have gotten caught up in some of the calls that were going against you?
I mean, it's inevitable, you know. I mean, guy comes down 6 times in a row, gets free throws. You know, what are you really gonna do? Slow the game down. So the run that you would hope to make in a quarter like that doesn't happen. I mean, he shot 22 on the game. I mean, it's getting ridiculous at this point. You know, it's just slowing the fucking game down. So.
Chris Gasper, Boston Globe. Mike Budenholzer was in here and he said, the spirit of our group is good. The challenge is to keep it there. What's the spirit of your group at this time, and what's the challenge?
I mean, we have another chance to respond at home. They took care of business. The third quarter is really where they made their mark on the game, and you got to give credit. George Hill was the X factor tonight, having 21 off the bench on 9 for 12. We just have to do a better job of limiting that. I think that we did a great job starting off the game really well, going into halftime. Obviously ending the half in a fashion that probably wasn't our best, and coming out in that third quarter giving up 40 points. That's not a characteristic we want to carry over into the next game. And we'll be better. We'll need a little bit more from our bench, a little bit more consistency from me going to the basket, especially as well as the three-point line. And hopefully we can even out the free throws, not just in the fourth quarter.
Mark James Stetson, WEI. Kyrie, you've been involved in a lot of playoff games, especially NBA Finals. Have you ever personally been involved where the officiating's been so poor on one side?
The refs have a difficult job. We have a difficult job. Obviously, I could sit up here and complain. We know the disparity and what it is, but I'm not going to put all the emphasis on the refereeing. I think that there are a lot of controllable things on our end that we can be better at. Obviously the officiating is going to be part of it. Hopefully you can, you wish that things can go your way, but they don't. And we have to be able to respond in a better circumstance. We just got to respond better. And I think that we will do that going into game 4. I'm confident in this group. I'm confident in the talent that we have here. And as well as the basketball IQ, we just have to bring it to another level of being in the right spots and really focusing on where we can take advantage on their defensive miscues. They turn their heads on the plays where the guys are driving to the basket. They still have the same frantic defense. They've made adjustments. And now we go back and watch film of where, instances in the game where we can control. We just have to do that.
Kyrie, Gary Washington, Boston Globe. When you get put in the bonus leagues, minutes left in the third quarter, how does that affect your defense, your mentality, when you know any kind of physical contact is probably going to be foul? And secondly, how do you guys not lose control like you did in that third quarter, and it seemed like the officiating became the dominant thing?
Yeah, like I said, it's difficult, but it's something that we can manage. And when it does happen at that point in the game, we just got to collect ourselves and be ready to move on to the next play. Obviously, we know how many free throws he shot a game. He's a great player in our league. We know how many times he goes to the baskets and get contact. But we also understand how many times we go to the basket and get contact. And it's a playoff game, and guys are playing very aggressive. And when you get into the bonus with 8 minutes left to go in the third, it's definitely a shocker. It'll definitely put something in your mind where you don't want to touch anyone. And, they shot free throws. And like I said, in any instance in a game like that, when you go into the bonus early on, it slows the game down. And then they're making runs, they're making threes down the stretch. Then we start pulling in even more on Giannis. We put an emphasis on stopping his drives, and then those other guys get going. And that was the primary thing that happened in the third quarter. As I look at the score, the box score, I thought that some of the numbers were going to shoot at, spark. They were going to come off the page, and the only thing that comes off the page is that third quarter and 22 free throws. Like I said, there's some things that we obviously can control, but the officiating, we're going to leave them alone next game. We're going to do a better job of walling up, better job of staying straight up, make sure that there aren't any, just eye-catching calls. We're just going to make sure we stay solid. We're going to make sure I communicate with our guys that, hey, if this is the way we're going to play, we're not going to adjust to them. We're going to make them adjust to us.
Hey Kyrie, this is Jason Chen from Tencent Sports. You guys, the Bucks scored 52 points in the paint, and I mean, like, is this like normal? I mean, like, how you guys prepare to guard them like in the paint next game?
Well, I'm living with that. I'm living with that. You know, we can manage the game a lot better when we're giving up twos rather than threes. Obviously, game 2 was a completely different shot chart for them, and we'll go back and like I said, I'm gonna keep saying we're gonna watch where we can see where we can control and manage the game better. But 52 in the paint doesn't shock me. They've done it all season. It's just when those other guys are getting timely threes and then they're throwing it down in the post with Chris Middleton, or they're making threes off our overhelp. So we'll do a better job of walling up and guarding Giannis better, guarding Chris better. And as well as limiting those other guys to, you know, Connaughton had 14 points, 5 for 11, 4 for 9 from the three-point line. George was 9 for 12 for 21 points. Those are big points in the game, especially in the playoff series where, you know, you want to limit guys from getting going. So those are things that we're putting emphasis on and move on to next game.
Final 2 questions, Mark?
Kyrie, Mark D'Amico, Celtics. You spoke earlier about how you want to get downhill during Game 4 and create at the basket. Can you just speak to nothing to do with the rest, but what are the challenges of scoring in the paint against this team in particular, and how can you guys create more offense in that area moving forward?
I have to be more efficient. I got to be more efficient, especially when I'm getting downhill in those switches. I got to punish those guys, and that's as simple as that. I got to do what I'm really great at, and that's getting downhill and making plays and getting to the rim and dishing out. But when I get a big on me and I see those guys with slow feet, I got to go right at them.
Last question, Jared.
Kyrie, Jared Weiss from The Athletic Boston. I know you have like a great floater game and you're able to kind of score pretty much anywhere in the paint, but when you have that kind of back and forth going to the line, do you feel like you need to initiate that contact or really seek that contact and try to get that free throw down?
I just got to keep my eyes on the rim and just be efficient in that paint area. You know, I wish that I could have probably a lot more elaborate answer for you of what I got to do around that paint and my floater game and what I'm great at, but it's really just about being efficient, especially the rest of the series. You know, from this point on, I don't think you'll see another 8 for 22, you know, any missed layups or looking for the refs for calls or anything like that. It's just who's going to outscore the other team, who's going to be better efficient at it. But when I do get in there, I'm looking to score, and I'm looking to finish with contact, whether the refs call it or not.
Thank you, Kyrie.